Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of Living World of Darkness. This is what is it? WereHunter venue. We start the scene with Robin Clay just kind of in thought walking through Manhattan, making her way to the Bronx, if I'm correct. Am I, Vinny?
She lives in Brooklyn, but close to the
Brooklyn,
Bronx.
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Making her way to Brooklyn. I mean, she took probably like a subway to actually the bridge, but from there on decided, she wanted to walk the bridge for once. From there on, continues to grab the subway again, making her way to a place that she's visited once, but it's quite a memorable visit. Not quite sure in which way she prefers to remember it. She's kind of confused by it all, but it's good to have a destination when you have a lot on your mind. And she did want to check up on a certain person that she met who lives at the destination that she's now heading. So she arrives in this kind of, falling apart apartment building. I think that's the best way to describe it. And we'll make her way to the door where she entered last, and she's looking for a doorbell. She finds one, she'll press it and just, listens to hear if it actually rings.
That doorbell hasn't worked since the 50s.
Yeah, I figured. So she rings it, it stays silent. She waits for just a little bit because, there's the chance that she just missed the sound. Rings it again and again, doesn't hear anything or any kind of movement. And yeah, he just kind of knocks on the door.
Well, at the knock on the door, there is through the peephole, there's definitely sort of a shadow that comes through, like the light that shines through it, and then the door opens with a bit of a jolt because that door always sticks and it doesn't quite sit in the frame just right. But yeah, Emma opens up the door and seeing seeing Robin there, she kind of raises a brow and just kind of offers a flat smile. I wasn't sure if I'd see you again.
Um, I had some business to take care of. I promised I'd spend the night, and I did. But you know, um, it was morning. You weren't awake yet, but I really had to go.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
I left a note. Did you not find it?
It's probably somewhere in that mess of quilts I have.
Oh,
When you got to get up out of the bed to go throw up, you flip the sheets pretty quick.
fair enough.
You want to come in?
Um, I mean, only if you're okay with that.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to have lunch.
Mm, okay. Well, don't let me stop you.
She'll open the door wide enough for Robin to come in.
Yeah, she'll come in. She does actually do the awkward quick look around before she closes the door behind her.
Well, there is no mink in sight. The mink has made its way away upon Robin's presence coming near the door.
Yeah.
But Robin will use her shoulder to actually brace the door and shut it once Robin comes in, because it takes that little bit of an oomph. And then she'll walk into her kitchen and pull out a couple of sort of looks to be brown packets of paper, which are sliced deli meats, and she pulls out a bag of country style bread from the refrigerator, and sets it all down and starts making two sandwiches.
Robin kind of awkwardly follows into the kitchen. Just kind of stands there in the doorway. So, how have you been? Hope the hangover wasn't too bad.
Not the worst hangover I've had, but it was a bit rougher than I've had in a while. I haven't had reason to get that drunk in a couple months now.
I could say that you could have chosen not to accept it there, but yeah, I did kind of lead you into that, and yeah, I mean, kind of sorry.
She just kind of smirks and shrugs. If you want to win big, sometimes you have to play big.
Robin actually slightly blushes at that. And then kind of shrugs. I guess.
And Emma goes to putting ham, salami, and turkey with sliced lettuce and tomatoes and sandwich slice pickles with mayo, chipotle mayo, no less, on each of the sandwiches, and then puts them on the plate. Pours some kettle corn chips on each plate, and then walks out to the couch and sets both plates down onto the coffee table. Anything you want to
There's
drink?
just the tiniest
Water?
growl from Robin's stomach as she sees the sandwiches.
Anything to drink?
Uh, as long as it's not tap water, I would like to. Yeah.
Let me see what I got. She goes into her kitchen, starts fishing around, and comes back out with two bottles each for each of them of what looks to be Angry Orchard hard cider. And she'll use a bottle opener to open one up and hand to her.
Robin takes it and just looks a little for a moment like when she kind of sniffs at the and just smells the alcohol. She looks a little like, "Urgh."
Don't worry, this one isn't bad.
It's, as you said, lunchtime. Isn't it a little early?
You know who says that sort of thing?
I mean,
People with high opinions of themselves and low opinions of others. You're a grown ass person. You can drink whenever the hell you like.
I'm 20. I am not supposed to drink at all, and you know, um, I didn't mean to be rude or anything. If you want to drink, I have no objections to that. It's just that I'm not really
Emma's just going to reach out and just very gently just kind of flick Robin in the center of her forehead. Don't think about it so much. If you want to drink it, drink it. If you don't, I've got soda and I've got orange juice.
this is a this is my kind of flicks Robin's forehead. There's the quick flash of anger almost in Robin's eyes. Like, but she suppresses it. looks at the bottle again, looks at Emma, back at the bottle, and then is like, kind of shrugs and takes a sip.
That's pretty good. It's Granny Smith, so it's got that real tart taste to it. That sour, sweet
Mm-hmm.
taste with a nice burn of alcohol. That warming sensation. It's a very good mix for a mass-produced drink, both in and out of character. By the way.
I love cider. So fuck it, Robin loves cider too. So her eyes kind of have that surprised, oh, this is good look. And again, that is really just a momentary flash before, you know, the slightly disapproving look will return for, drinking underage. Um, she takes another bigger drink and puts it on the table. Almost looks at Emma like, yeah, what are you going to say about it? I mean, Emma's the one who's encouraging it, but it's still that slightly challenging look. Like, are you gonna say something about this? Yes or no?
Emma just kind of shrugs and smiles at her.
So about the other night, how much do you how much do you recall?
Well, if I seem to remember correctly, you kept trying to get me to take my clothes off. You got so desperate at one point you were dragging me to my bedroom.
Dream on, bitch.
You're getting smarter. I like this. And she'll take a sip out of her drink. I remember pretty much everything. I just don't remember exactly how many times I rolled out of bed to go throw up. I know it was at least a couple before you left.
Yeah. I did empty that bucket I placed next to your pillow. Well, on the ground at least. Did empty it once, but when I left.
That was nice of you.
I mean, yeah. Like I said, I sort of got you into that mess, and yeah.
No, no, you didn't. Anything I do is always 100% me, Robin.
Okay.
Unless you've got some weird wackadoo mind control powers from the Phoenix Saga or some shit.
Yeah, yeah. I'll lift you up to the ceiling soon.
Well, don't threaten me with a good time. And she'll take a sip out of her bottle.
Robin shrugs and does the same. Sort of copying Emma's move at that. Length of the sip and everything. No, no weird mind controlling shit here.
It's good to know. But yeah, you're never going to have me doing something I don't want to do.
Fair enough, but yeah.
So, me propositioning you, she'll sit back with one half of her sandwich in hand, takes a bite out of it, chews, swallows, washes it down. That was my choice. a
I
bit younger
mean,
than me, but you're, well, fuck it. Let me put it to you this way: you're hot, and you have a good enough heart where I'm not repulsed by you on base principle.
Robin is definitely going to suppress an eyebrow raise there because, being rage 4, it's kind of normal that people are naturally kind of, at least weary around you. She just shrugs. I just do what I do what I want to do, really.
Well, what's the kind of normal person you find yourself interested in?
Um, I not really found anyone I was particularly interested in.
Never even fooled around? Nothing like that?
Been on a few dates, but I always thought they were a little too superficial. It's just not much going on, a bit boring. And they just, you know, kind of took me away from the things that I found important. Yeah, I thought was important. It's so yeah, they usually just kind of bled dry. I had a maybe 2 follow-ups on the first date, and the rest of them I usually just kind of turned away. Just the people that were interested just weren't that interesting to me. Either they were people with a lot of like emotional luggage that at that time I couldn't deal with. Um, or just, show offs. Mostly show offs, actually.
Hmm.
I don't like show offs. It's just, you know, it's all fun and games that you're like captain of the male cheerleader squad or quarterback or uh, but just talk about something else, you know? I don't need to know all the moves you did at the game last night because I wasn't there. If I wanted to know those moves, I would have been there with a notebook. And then on the other end, there were, the WizKids. And as much as I enjoy Star Wars, I don't need to hear every theory that is going around on YouTube, on the internet, by all the other nerds. Like, I enjoyed the movies. That's it. I don't need to know if those midi Florian fluorides things, if they were like real or if that was good or bad. I've heard hours of these discussions. And after that, there was the awkward, can you kiss me now? That's just, no. So, I thought I'd run into someone at some point. Until that time, I would just focus on me.
But nods as she takes a long drink out of her bottle and sets it down. Finishes off the last bit of that half of the sandwich that she had. Sort of sits back in the couch, sort of turning herself towards Robin. Well, I was never captain of a fucking thing. I don't show off. There's no reason to. And as for being a whiz kid, I've never been abundantly smart or overly into pop culture, though. There are a few things that I do enjoy. But I'm not going to initiate in any kind of debates on them. And as far as the kiss me now sort of thing, I like to think that I can read body language a little bit better to see when somebody's actually into doing that or not.
Can you now? There's a kind of smile on Robin's face.
I like to think so. And of course, she's going to roll her perception empathy here. Just so
Yeah, I figured I want to activate persuasion, which is a roll. I believe at that point you can also make a counter roll, which I just realized. But hey, I said it's.
going to use the magic, are you?
I've got the magic in me. Yes. Breed. God, I've used persuasion so many times. You'd expect me to actually know the freaking roll. It's no.
I think it's Manip Sub to 7.
Yeah, I
I
think so
think.
too.
Don't quote me on that.
No, exactly. That's the thing. I think so too. It's charisma subterfuge. You're right on the diff though.
I know it wasn't easy.
Charisma subterfuge. Yes. So let me see. Oh yeah, I got successes.
Well, first off, here's hashtag was that a power? Oh.
Nice.
And then, so I forget, what does that do? That makes your manipulation subterfuge
The difficulty lowers by 1, so of all social rolls.
for the scene, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Lip sub. 4.
Do you know what I
Wow.
have? Is she
Right.
trying to lie to her or trying to deceive her?
She's more trying to keep a neutral expression that you can't read anything from. I don't know if that's really lying or deceiving. Like, it's hiding not so much as she's not trying to make Emma feel uh or let Emma have the idea that like she's feeling something else and that she's trying to kind of like block all her emotions.
Well, I have this healthy skepticism merit.
I don't know exactly what that does.
I gotta read it. Give me just a second here because I have to load
Yes.
up my cheat sheet. It's definitely not the old subnet because that thing was lost to time.
Yeah.
And slow websites are slow. There we
Hmm.
go.
This is why I put all the descriptions of my merits and flaws in my character sheet nowadays.
I used to do that, but then people were like, "Oh, using tables. They're so hard to edit. To perceive a lie. So yeah, it's not going to apply here. Who knows? Let's say that because there was the challenge there, she's going to spend a willpower point. But I don't think against 4 successes with 5 dice, I have a
I
great
mean,
shot here.
I got 4 successes on 5 dice.
I only get 3.
Mm.
So kind of seeing that sort of that has, or not really a hesitation, but just a just sort of a blank expression. She knows, she could tell fairly well that Robin is
I mean, it's.
maybe
Mm? Sorry, go on.
she's definitely trying to stonewall her here.
Oh yeah, yeah, you can clearly see that. Like this is like there's even the slight smirk of Robin, like mm, kind of showing Emma that yeah, try and read this.
And Emma's gonna set her drink down, and she'll scoot closer. Just sort of look Robin in the eye. And she's got just sort of the same kind of confident smile that she always has, that smirk.
Robin will take up the bottle and take a sip. But if Emma is definitely is looking her in the eyes, Robin is not gonna stare away. Even though Emma is not a werewolf, I think that behavior is kind of like set
Mm-hmm.
at this point for Robin. That yeah, looking someone in the eye is a challenge, and Robin is not gonna be the first to back off.
And because Emma's about as stubborn as a mule, she is yeah, she's gonna lean in and see what happens.
Lean in. Okay. Like the moment Emma kind of leans in, Robin again will put the bottle to her lips and just swoop it up so it would tap Emma's nose just with the end of it.
And she'll just kind of chuckle to herself. I think you did that on purpose.
Who knows? Do you? But there's definitely like there's ever so slight twinkle in her eye, but again, she's not looking away. Starts to feel a little bit more competitive around her, at least.
And Emma will reach back and grab her bottle, but she still remains in that proximity, still maintains eye contact. Find ourselves at an impasse, huh?
It appears we do.
Did you say anyone's pursued you this hard without being a total creeper?
Well, who says that you are not the creeper in this case?
Because I have a feeling that if I was, you would have punched me in the throat by now.
Hmm.
You've
Perhaps I'm
definitely
a
got a.
pacifist.
You don't strike me as a pacifist. There's something about you. You've definitely got a air of, I don't know what. You seem like you're capable of violence, despite, well, all this. She'll kind of gesture towards Robin's features. Even if you look fairly innocent and doughy-eyed.
Despite all this, and Robin will kind of make a movement with her finger, like past her own hairline and down to her cheeks and past her lower lip. Just then kind of lets the finger fall down again. Despite all that, you think that I'm a violent person.
I didn't say you're a violent person. I said you have the capacity for violence.
I mean, don't we all?
Not everyone, no. At least that they're not prone to it. I know people who, with their backs against the wall, have been fairly violent, but I also know people who you'd really have to watch yourself around. You strike me as someone in the middle. You don't outwardly project aggression, but there's something about you that makes my hair stand on end.
Who says that's violence?
Because I don't fall head over heels for people. Not after what I've been through.
Don't fall head over heels for people. But you're pursuing me. Why?
Could be a number of things, to be honest. Lack of quality individuals, certainly a thing. First one comes along that has any merit to them, maybe you can't help but jump at the chance.
Perhaps there'll be
Maybe
more. Perhaps there'll be better people than I.
I lost 10 years of freedom early on in my life. I never got to enjoy the grand years that are a person's 20s. You know what that taught me?
Mm-hmm.
You see an opportunity to enjoy life, you take it. Any way that you can.
I understand that's a lesson that you take from your past. I've learned another lesson. Aim for the highest standards. Work to achieve the best you can be.
Well, she'll clear her throat, put her she's sitting sort of like Indian style, so she sets her bottle down, like, in between like her ankles and her hips. Do you want to aim for the best? Tell you on my best day, I'm probably not good enough for you. I'm quick to anger. There's a good chance that if there's something I don't want you to know, or something that I'm embarrassed about, I'll probably lie to you. I get drunk. I have no greater aspirations over past owning a bar of my own. And I'll probably live in the same part of Brooklyn for the rest of my life. And if you hurt me, I will do and say the nastiest things I can to make you think that I don't care. Because I'd rather have you hate me than see me vulnerable.
But you're forgetting something. I've already seen you.
And what did you see?
I told you that the previous time, remember? You wanted me to analyze you.
Now you've had a little over 48 hours, 72 hours almost, to analyze. What's your final observation, Doc?
That whatever I say, if it don't fit in the way that you believe it fits, it won't fit. You will simply deny it. I stand by my words. It's just that I know that you don't want to hear some of them, or don't want to see some of them. You're as good at lying to the world as you are to yourself. That will someday, you know, come to hurt you.
Probably. But I'm not unfamiliar to pain. I don't like it, but I've learned how to cope, even if it sucks.
You say that. There are many kinds of pain. Learn to cope with one, and something else will pop up to hurt you. As you'll, again, the cider does taste good, and she's more hungry and thirsty than she thought she was. The thing with cider is you really drink it like lemonade. That's that. Yeah. You ever been burned?
In what way?
Literally. Again, like your fingers on the stove or something like that. A cigarette pressed out against your skin.
She'll roll up her sleeve and show what looks to be like a triangle mark of 3 cigarette burns.
Have you ever been cut? Knife.
A few times.
Was it the same pain? It was. It was physical pain, but was it the same pain?
Honestly, it felt closer to being burnt, initially at least.
And the body parts, the place where the pain comes, type of pain. Every pain is different. You can say you cope with one, you can say you've coped with many. There will always be one that you don't expect.
Well, if I didn't expect that I could be hurt in new ways, I'd be pretty naive now, wouldn't I?
Exactly.
So what are you trying to get at?
That you said that you've had pain before. I said there will always be a new pain that you have not encountered yet, that you'll have to cope with.
Everything's come my way I've learned how to cope with. Maybe not right away, but eventually. So I'm
Shutting
not
yourself
sure
down
if you
from the world and drinking?
that's one coping mechanism.
Not per se a healthy one.
Well, I'm not dead yet.
Yet. Keep drinking like that and your liver will give up soon. Well, soon. Maybe in 10 years, maybe 20.
Emma shrugs.
That was uncalled for. Hmm.
How so?
Because I'm pretty sure that you knew that. You're not stupid either.
I like to think of it that we all have our number. Eventually it comes up and it's our turn.
Yeah, but
Whether
there's way.
we're
Go on.
whether we're 15 or 50 or 102. Can't escape it. It just happens.
Perhaps.
Do I expect to die of cirrhosis of the liver? Or is that my goal? Not really. But until I can find a better solution to what hurts, this works pretty well. It's a hell of a lot better than going out and putting a needle in my arm or snorting something up my nose.
True. But there's waiting for your number to come up. Or there's pushing the line. Besides, if you ever want to run a bar, if that's your dream, there's nothing worse than a drunk bar owner. It's generally bad for business. So I've heard.
You haven't hung out in many bars in Brooklyn, have you?
I mean, how many of them are actually successful?
A couple old ones.
And the management is drunk?
Not all the time, but I know a few owners that are more than willing to get sauced with their clientele. Although most of them are also into harder drugs too.
Hmm. Robin will finish up the last of that bottle, puts it on the table. Let me be clear. If you want to be with me, if that is something that you've set your mind to, I am not someone who will sit and wait. I'm someone who will push forward, someone who will drive themselves and those around her to excel. That is who I want to be. That's what I've always been. I work hard for what I'm trying to achieve, what I'm trying to reach, my goals, my career, my friends. I'll not back down from what I need to do. If that means pushing myself to the limit, pushing others to the limit, that is what I will do. And that is something that you'll have to deal with if you really would like to be with me.
Emma smirks. You like setting the terms. You're used to getting your way.
So,
I have my aspirations, and I'm going to reach them. There are going to be times where, if you want to be with me, where I'm going to fight you every step of the way because I don't want to be bothered with it. I don't have lofty goals. I don't want to be rich. I don't want to be famous. I want to be happy. For the longest time, I wanted. I had a hole right through the center of me, and no matter how much I drank, or how much I stole, or how many people I hurt, there was never. There was never enough to fill it. The closest I came to it was a lie. And I honestly wanted revenge for just being born. But past few months, things have changed. And you get to make friends with a few people who, despite our differences, put forth friendship that didn't have conditions with it. They weren't friends with me because I could give them something. Well, initially I was very willing to. Uh-oh. So what did you
um,
just botch?
just a subterfuge roll.
And what were you trying to hide there?
Yeah. The moment you start speaking about friendship, um, there's just a pained look on Robin's face.
I'll roll to see how much deeper I can get. Then obviously this bothers you.
Mm-hmm.
2 successes to your botch.
Okay. This bothers her. She looks angry, worried, sad, and there seems to be a conflict within her. That's a lot that I gave you for fucking 2 successes, but hey, whatever, I botched.
Oh, sorry. Can you repeat that again? I kind of cut out there.
What the things I told you?
Yeah, it's just like a huge
Okay.
gap right there.
Oh, shot. So there's anger, um, grief, sadness, hurt, and this seems to be a conflict raging within Robin when you talk about friendship.
Emma kind of stops mid sentence, and when she sees that, she kind of leans that way. She's in Robin's eye line, and most people would probably reach out and grab or touch Robin's hand, but what Emma does is she just looks at Robin and then looks down at her hand and just offers it out.
Robin is not gonna take it. In fact, she she's trying to put all those feelings away and trying to put up like that shield. On second thought, I changed my mind. Obviously, we're not compatible. I just came to check to see how you've been. It was nice meeting you, but we should leave it at this, I think.
Let me give one more peony there.
I will give one more subterfuge there. As to say, if my dice show up. Ah. 3 successes.
And I say healthy skepticism plays into
Oh
that
yeah,
effect
oh yeah,
there.
definitely.
I think Discord really doesn't like. Wow, 6 successes.
Yet.
So how are you doing today?
um. So uh. Let me think about how to word this. She is shutting Emma out. But you can see it's not because she doesn't like Emma. So it must be because she likes her.
So from an out of character standpoint, she's shutting down.
She's shutting down the possibilities because she likes Emma. Or despite the fact that she likes Emma.
She she just kind of gets the smirk on her face, but looks kind of down at her hands. You know, in most situations, I would call bullshit. And I'd probably do so pretty crassly. But it's really hard to do that, and she'll look back up. And I see that saying that really doesn't feel good. And she means it like, the fact that what you just said obviously didn't make you feel good.
Mm-hmm. Robin is kind of trying to keep up this rate, so she shrugs. She says, "Look, I just have other things to deal with. I can't use
She
friendship
reach
or
she's gonna
romance."
reach out and just kind of real gently.
She's gonna slap your hand away. I'm just saying.
Oh,
Like finish where you're gonna go, but yeah. Just like
yeah, well, she was gonna reach out and just kind of like, put a hand on Robin's shoulder.
yeah, that hand's just gonna get slapped out of the way. Not very hard or anything, but just clearly like no.
Emma's just going to sit back.
Right. This became awkward. Perhaps I shouldn't have come. I apologize.
Emma's going to kind of scoot back over and grab her second bottle and stand up. And she's going to turn to Robin. You know, I don't know what's worse, whether the fact that it is that you're lying to me or lying to yourself.
You don't know me. Don't presume.
I don't know you. You're right. But I can see through bullshit because I put a lot of it out there. And to be quite honest, I like you. I'd like to see where things would go. I'm not perfect and I'm not going to be an avatar of probably what you want or desire, but I can tell that there is something there.
Look, I have to focus on what's important on my career. I can't use friendship, let alone something more.
If you said anything about using it, she'll take a long drink out of her bottle, and then she doesn't really point like accusing, but she kind of just like gestures in Robin's direction. Everybody's always so worried about what use I have for this, that, or the other. Nobody's ever really willing to just be a part of something.
Again, you have no idea.
I don't, and I'm sure that if I'm sure that if your heart caught up to where your mouth is, you'd be willing to sit here and let me try and pry it out of you. Over a course of days, weeks, months, who knows?
No.
But I'm not that kind of person. I'm not going to put you in a position where you feel uncomfortable.
Robin is actually gonna, take the second bottle as well. And, like, this is something that you've not seen her do. As she takes the bottle and is just gonna, gulp it down. Probably, like, she can't, like, down the entire bottle, but she will probably get halfway through.
Emma's slightly impressed. If it's going to tear you apart for someone to pursue you, I'm not going to do it to you.
Cannot have people in the way.
Who said anything about being in the way? If you've got your own shit to do, do it.
Being involved with me. Let me actually roll stamina to see how the alcohol is going, because she's not used to drinking. How her stamina isn't that big. She's rocking
She's
it.
fine though.
Fine. Well, stamina, yo. You will get in the way, even if you don't want to. That's not your fault. It's not even
you,
mine.
you just saying that, or do you actually believe that?
Does it matter either way?
It matters to me.
There are things at stake that you wouldn't understand. I'm
I've been
not saying
trying.
no.
I think you're selling me short, but
You want to make sure your number comes up as late as possible. And with that, she'll down the other half of her drink. She kind of puts it on the table a little too hard.
So are you worried about me getting hurt?
I know you will.
She smiles at that, almost like, oh jeez. And here I was worried I was gonna have to be the one to say that to you.
Why? Because you tried to own a bar? Maybe a drunk person would try to kick the shit out of me or try to, I don't know, do something to me.
Because somebody I took the fall for left me with about $50,000 worth of debt to the mob.
Robin kind of shrugs. She does not seem to be that impressed. Is going to give you this for free because I should have roleplayed that differently.
Mm, may not seem like much. You at least. But down here on the street level, that's enough to get someone gone if they can't make good. You see this shitty apartment? I make enough to be able to live somewhere nicer. Where do you think most of my money goes? I'm barely making interest on their fucking price gouging, loan sharking, whatever you want to call it. I have to keep a couple of guys who weigh about 350 each from kicking in my door every month. Keeps me from having to be shaken down. And she'll take a long drink out of her bottle, and she'll come and sit on the coffee table across from Robin rather than sit on the couch next to her. And because I'm already a felon, this is breaking a lot of rules that I have to follow to keep from having to go back. I'm not scared of dying. What I'm scared of is not enjoying what time I have.
Do you have
I
another
would.
one of these?
She'll hand the one over that she's got before she goes up to get a few more. And she'll come back with 4 more bottles and set them down. These are it, by the way. After this, it's all liquor. Listen, if
I don't plan to
you.
get drunk.
Sorry, go ahead. I cut you off there.
She just said I don't plan to get drunk.
Most people don't. Okay, I do, but most people don't in these kinds of situations.
By the way, like Robin seems to only be half listening to your story. Like, well, like definitely the time before they met and the time before, she had that quick realization during this meeting. She was very interested. She listened very intently. Now she kind of seems to stare off in the distance, kind of, keeping that protective layer about herself, like that layer of, I'm not interested in whatever you have to say.
Emma takes a sip out of her new bottle, holds it sort of in between her knees. You know, you're showing all the signs that you're not interested, but you haven't left yet.
You're right, I should. Robin will, finish the bottle that Emma gave her.
Oh, no.
She she's gonna, stand up quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But you know that thing when you're not used to drinking alcohol or you haven't really eaten a whole lot, and the alcohol just hits you the moment you stand up, and basically, things change in your body because you stand up.
Your body
So,
realizes, like, oh
hmm
no.
yeah. So she stands up and rather quickly, actually sets 2 paces and then just like kind of topples sideways back on the couch again.
Emma's gonna try and catch her. Okay, so she does manage to keep you from, busting out the springs on an already ailing couch.
Robin
Yes,
looks seriously shocked. I'm fine.
2.5 ciders in, and you are most certainly not fine.
Just leave me. Or let me leave.
Why don't you sober up before you go?
What happened? I thought I didn't feel anything.
Well, when you first start drinking, a lot of times your eyes are bigger than your stomach, so to speak, and it gets ahead of you. It's nothing unusual. Happened to me the first time I got shit faced. Only I kept milking it afterwards. Kind of figured that I was here. I might as well keep going down that road. But I can get you some water if you want.
Not
No
from the
coffee.
tap. No tap water.
I've got a few bottles left, I think. It's tepid, it's not cold.
It's fine. I can pay for.
Not worried about you paying me for bottled water, Hoppin. And she'll get up and help set Robin up so that way her legs are up on the couch and she's sort of nestled in the crook of the arm in the back, so that way she can at least sit somewhat upright. And she'll come back with a bottle of water that's at room temperature. She'll crack it open for her and hand it to her.
Robin kind of starts, uh, same way as that second bottle. Like, oh, oh.
She's gonna kind of like try to intervene. Okay. First off, chugging down water like that is a really good way to start throwing up.
Right.
Just little drinks and little sips. All right.
All right.
And
Why do
she'll
you
reach up
care?
and go ahead.
Why do you care? I just told you. We can't. work together, not as friends, not as anything else. So why do you care?
Other than the fact that you weren't being ingenuous with me?
I'm genuine.
You say that's not what you mean.
No, it's exactly what I mean. You and I can't. Just can't. Too much stuff. There's just too much stuff.
If
Okay.
you honestly thought that, it would have never been on the table to begin with.
What?
If you honestly felt that there was
It
no
has nothing
reason,
to do with my feelings. Sorry. Sorry, that I should not have I should have screamed.
and then lets that sort of awkward silence just linger.
Robin is just, closing her eyes, and it's almost as if she's like, counting to 10, trying to force her breathing to slow down. What I'm trying to say is that your feelings, my feelings, they don't matter in this. They don't matter. I cannot be friends with anyone. There's just too much at stake.
Why?
I'm gonna roll a quick willpower roll. It's none of your business, and you don't want to make it your business.
Okay. I'm gonna roll Emma's willpower. Ooh. She's gonna stand up. She's gonna leave the water bottle by Robin on the table. She's gonna scoot the table just a little bit closer to the couch, and she's gonna go over to the chair, pull out her phone.
Robin blinks a little bit surprised. What are you doing?
What? Out of character level. I hate this already. Don't want to do this, but I ain't character level.
What are you doing?
Right.
Wait,
She said it wasn't gonna fucking work.
yeah.
So as you water, you get your head straight. There's food there. Once you feel like you can eat it. It'll probably help, and then you can get the fuck out.
Okay. Yeah. I won't take any more of your time.
Fucking good.
I'm sorry.
Shows me put myself out there.
Circumstances were different.
Your circumstances were anything.
Yeah, indeed. Look, I'm really sorry. I don't mean this. I'm doing this because it's
What, to
really the
protect me?
best.
Fuck you.
Yes! Fuck
Fuck
me. Well,
you.
fuck you.
If
You
I wanted
don't
to.
know what's happening. Yes, I'm doing this to protect you.
Why ain't you just a fucking saint?
She's gonna take a rage for this.
I know.
Oh, shit. Oh, fucking shit.
You know, saying you spend a willpower point beforehand is always a good idea, but this is where we find ourselves.
It's give us moon.
Yeah, that's a frenzy.
That's a frenzy. So,
Just gonna quickly just
oh, oh boy. So what happens is Robin just screams, brings down her fist on the table, and as it falls down, if Emma would follow the fist, she would see it change, and there's like white fur growing all over it, and it's growing in size. And she looks up at Robin. Robin is also grown in size considerably. White fur and everything. She does not even look like Robin anymore.
yeah.
Yes, there is a Krynos Robin
I think we need to
smashing
go.
down your table.
I think we need to roll initiative.
Yeah.
This is the second time this has happened with
God
our
fucking damn it. Jeez. And this is like, I swear, Robin has never frenzied.
No,
Other
you
than the,
frenzied on Cammy.
yeah, other than with you.
Maybe next time we try and
Hmm.
get something going with our characters, we choose it in a venue where we don't have rage scores or beasts to work.
God.
Oh no.
Oh boy. I hope Emma will just run. Like really.
She's gonna jump out the fucking window.
Good. Good.
She only lives on the third floor. That's three
Good.
dice of bashing.
Oh, give me the
Oh, poop.
boy. Yeah.
Well, you don't have razor claws, right?
No, I don't. And there's still a table in between us, so it's gonna
And you're
take me at
drunk.
least and I'm drunk. It's gonna take me at least a turn to get to you, so I'd say you get the first action anyway. Um, Initiative +7. Uh, maybe I just suck. I do suck, but yeah. Fucking Krino stats. I mean, Robin's first turn is just smashing through the table. Let's just say that. I feel that's fair.
Okay. I am going to take any concession that you can give.
Yeah.
So, what she is going to
Oh
do
shit.
is she is going to just run for the window that she normally uses to smoke in, that's at the fire escape, and she is just going to try and jump through that. Um, she's going to spend a willpower because she's not actually trying to hit you. Um, and no matter what happens, Saskia, I still love you.
Okay. I am so sorry. I swear, Robin is not a murder monster. But when it's your characters, I don't know. Ay, ay, ay.
Two successes to jump out the window.
Okay.
And I need to go ahead and
I mean
let's
that
see, it's
technically,
three bashing, and
technically
it's
that means
bashing
you're
as
out of
long
sight.
bashing for or for every 10 feet. 3 stories up is 10 feet, and you have to get above 10 stories to get
Mm,
lethal. So let's see if she can soak that bashing.
nice, nice, nice.
And yeah, boom.
So I'm not sure if I may spend a willpower to try and resist this frenzy. Um, I hate the fact that it's fucking Arun Moon. Oh yeah. But I'm gonna spend a willpower trying to the Queen of Shift was 1 rage, so that will put me down to 4 rage.
I think you automatically shift into Krenos without having to spend the rage.
Don't say this. 'Cause I don't want to follow you out on the streets. I really don't.
Well, roll your willpower.
I will. Success on a willpower roll. Is that working? I don't know. I
I
thought I had to roll
I think
rage, but
so. I think you got your shit together.
okay. I'm cool with this. I'm taking this. Um, so how about this? Robin is like smashing through the table, looking up and just seeing Cammy disappear out of the window. Um,
Emma.
running. Oh, sorry, Emma. Running over to the window, like boom, boom, and then like as she is about to look outside out of the window, kind of has those Krina's claws at the windowsill. She just stops and is forcing her way back, and she's gonna fucking like shift back into Hamid as she slowly starts to realize what's happening. And finally, once back in Hamid, she will actually put her head out of the window.
Yeah, Emma is is running down the streets. If she's not already out of sight.
Yeah, Robin's just watching Emma go and is face palming. But delirium is a thing, or so she expects. So perhaps it's good that this happened. So she's looking around at the destroyed window, at the messed up table. Mm, she's thinking how to you know how am
Fuck
I gonna
off,
make
Damien.
Damien is the one who's watching. God damn it. Ah. So she's kind of looking around to see how the fuck can she cover this up. So she is gonna check and like, is there anything heavy in Emma's apartment?
Um, I don't know, a refrigerator, the couch, the
No, no, no,
table.
no, no. Something tiny and heavy, like a paperweight or a like, I don't know, a
For the
cannonball.
sake for the sake of roleplay, I'm going to say that on an empty bookshelf there is a book, like a bookend
Yeah, yeah.
that's
Okay,
probably
good.
pretty heavy.
Amazing. I can use that. So Robin's gonna take the book end and she's gonna hold it kind of lifted in her hand. She's like, okay, yeah, that'll do. And she's going to kind of like aim it at the place where her fist hit the table. Is going to just smack it down so it looks like maybe this could have been like a bookend. And then she's going to toss it out of the window after Emma.
Just breaking her shit. Just you got to
No,
add
because you
insult to
already
injury.
no, like okay, like the way Robin sees this, Emma's obviously been hit by delirium. Thank heavens. Yeah, I know, right? And she needs to find some way to cover this up. So the worst thing is even like this is the worst thing. What she's gonna do? She's going to leave a note. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is terrible. This is really terrible. And Robin is gonna write, this is even worse. Like, you're gonna hate me so much. Dear Emma, I don't know what happened. You got drunk and tried to hit me with a bookend, then tossed it out of the window. I'm sorry, but I feel that this should be the end of us seeing each other. If you ever want to talk about this rationally, you can call me. Greetings, Robin. And she's going to place it in the kitchen, like on the like
Let's face it, you probably know that if you want her to see it, you're going to put it near her where her booze.
yeah. And she's just gonna place it on the refrigerator, like there's probably some of those hideous refrigerator magnets that are half broken or something. So she's gonna just put it that on there on the refrigerator, and yeah, she she's gonna leave the house. Make sure that the door is like closed. And you know what? In the drawer, like where you have like the bottle opener,
Mm-hmm.
she's basically gonna leave like uh, 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 some cash. Anything that she has on her was probably like no more than $50, like as repair for the window.
Jeez, I nearly killed you. Here's $50.
It's terrible. It's terrible. But hey, she has to spin all the story because she believes Emma is like affected by delirium, which kind of makes sense because she ran off. I think with that we can end this scene, unless you want
No,
Emma to come back fairly quickly and run into
no,
Robin. No,
she
right?
better never come back.
Aw.
Mr. Bigglesby is going to have to fend for himself, which is probably not a problem.
Aw. So yeah, with the note and the money there, she will actually like quickly refer to I placed your knives back in the drawer. She will yeah, she'll leave the note there, leave the cash there, and she's gonna walk away feeling even more shitty about herself and being slightly drunk. This is why you don't drink with Earl. Thank you, player, for playing. Thank you much for watching. This was another scene of Living World of. I don't know what the fuck we're doing, but I'm not quite sure if this was darkness.
Living
This
world of the continuing tale, as old as time, of Vinny and Saskia trying to have friendly interactions between our characters and
obviously failing. Living World of Drama. There you go. Good night.